Hey you, you're super. It's a shame it had to be this way, Dr. Vegapunk. Hey Merch Hunters, Merch Hunter Ricky back, and we are talking about One Piece chapters 1074, 5, and 6, but mainly we're just going to focus on 1076. But it's going to lead back to the other two chapters. So, we have a traitor straight up on Egghead Island, and if it's not a traitor, we have an infiltrator. So, regardless of it being a Vegapunk or being someone like Caribou, let's get into all the possibilities we could have on the island right now. Dr. Vegapunk is wanted by the world government, and as of 1076, he just said that he doesn't think it's possible for his poneglyph research to have been leaked to the world government, right? So right away, we got to talk about that poneglyph. Does that mean he's got a road poneglyph, or does that mean he just has one of those essential story poneglyphs that just has a little bit more extra information about the ancient kingdom? If it is about the ancient kingdom, that could be monumental, because if it's about that eternal fire source, or just about those big robots, or it could just straight up be like, this is the ancient kingdom, this is its name, this is Joy Boy, this is what happened here, this is the identity to Emu. All of these things would be prime material to get that man wiped off. Here's the thing though, I don't think it's that massive, because they wouldn't have sent CP 5, 6, 7, and 8 and have them get locked up in that jail cell that Dr. Vegapunk is currently residing in now as well. Also, I think we can put the rest, I've seen a lot of comments, people saying that that Vegapunk in the jail cell is not the Vegapunk we met in the junkyard. I don't think that's the case. I think that that is the same Dr. Vegapunk, the old man, and that he got beat up and put in the jail cell by the current traitor slash infiltrator, whoever it is. So, like you see in the thumbnail, personally I think Edison is sus. I don't think necessarily that Edison himself is the traitor, but when you look at all the rest of the satellites, Vegapunk Edison has taken a massive backseat to the other ones. Pythagoras was actually sent somewhere to go investigate. We know that York has a prime directive to eat, sleep, and poo. So I genuinely don't think that she would be someone to actually go ahead and be a criminal to betray her other satellite bodies, right? Personally, I think it's just because her prime directive is so simple that they're not actually going to make York an important, character like that. Also, it's kind of apparent now that S-Snake has turned her to stone that she can't just be the infiltrator like that. That's a really dangerous position to be put in, to be turned to stone right now. It would be a very smart cover-up. Let's not ignore that possibility. I just personally do not see how it could be York. Now back to Edison. Edison has left several times to go invent something with his little pal cat, right? That's what bothers me. What if he invented a failsafe to stop a Vegapunk from betraying the other Vegapunks? What if he invented a failsafe or an infiltrator type Vegapunk, a new satellite altogether? We have that, we have that straight up image of the guy covering the camera, whatever that silhouette may be. A lot of people think it's Caribou, and personally I don't, but if it is Caribou, I can see how the shape of the weird silhouette makes it Caribou. A lot of people think it's St. J. Garcia already on Egghead, St. J. Garcia Saturn, and honestly I don't rule that out either. And because we don't know what a Gorosei is capable of, what if when a Gorosei does a Rokushiki technique, if they're capable of that, what if they can just straight up like airwalk like 50 miles? You know what I mean? Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility, so I strongly encourage not ruling him out, right? Here's my thing. I personally think it is a new Vegapunk or an altogether different party that we have not met yet. But I think personally Edison is behind the creation of this new party. That is because look at what is in... look at what Vegapunk is in. He's in a jail cell that he didn't even know about, right? Trapped in with CP 5 through 8. And that's really worrisome, because it's not like York is going to build it. I doubt Lilith would build it, but maybe Lilith could, But who is the primary builder of the Vegapunks? Edison. Pythagoras whoops up the blueprint, I believe, but Edison is the one that actually enacts them. I could have them flipped, and if I do, correct me in the comments. But personally, I think Edison has taken a backseat for a reason. He's very he's very unassuming, and he's not off-putting. Shaka is off-putting, right? Everyone looks at him and they're like, oh, that guy is sus as hell. I personally don't think he is the culprit. Just simply predicting your death does not make it so. Because, again, if he really wanted to prove a point, I think he would have denied the key to Luffy in the recent chapter 1076. I don't see how having that key, or giving that key to Luffy and allowing two CP0 members to come out of their Sea Prism Cuff bindings would make his plan come true or not come true, right? Because his primary directive, like he's saying, is to save save Stella. But if he doesn't know that Stella has been kidnapped in his own island, I just don't see it being Shaka, because Shaka seems to be doing everything he can to save Stella. That's where I think Edison pops up more so as the real problem here, because just like Vegapunk Stella body has like a naive nature to where he doesn't think his inventions are a bad thing, I personally think that's exactly what's going on with Edison. I think Edison made some sort of like robot or some sort of thing to protect Egghead Island at all costs, right? And to protect Stella, he might have made that jail cell and started secretly imprisoning the CP0s, CP5 through 8. Why do I think that? I just personally can only see someone doing that like Edison, because I personally, like, when they brought it up, Lilith got very defensive to the point where it just doesn't make sense for it to be her, because I feel like she would shamelessly let you know after a while. But we can't rule Lilith out either, because she is the Vegapunk of evil. But I trust her because her personality is so outspoken and so quote-unquote evil that it just doesn't like strike me as someone to be afraid of. But Edison is quiet almost. All he does is react to Nami wanting the gems this chapter. Other chapters, he's just kind of like floating around and sort of having a good time. He doesn't really look nervous about this whole situation. When Pythagoras got attacked, it could very well be that he didn't recognize whatever new invention that Edison whooped up. Edison could have created this monster by accident and not realize what it's doing. Or he could be a malicious entity, and he is attempting to keep everything on Egghead Island. These are his inventions. These are his babies. This is something he does not want to go down. So the only way to stop it from happening is to stop CP 5, 6, 7, 8, and the defunct 9, now 0. He has to stop them in his tracks, or he won't be able to invent anymore. His prime directive is to invent, right? That's all he needs to do. He asks York to eat. And then so that he can have the energy to keep inventing, to keep making things. And I think because of that, it makes him the real prime suspect of this arc. Now, Caribou. It could very well be Caribou. That silhouette is weird looking. Like I said, it's either Caribou or JD Garcia, or people saying, or Saint, JD Garcia, Saint Garcia, J Garcia Saturn. Wow, that was a horrible flub. But it makes it, I wouldn't rule them out. It does make sense that it could be those two, and I'm not outstanding that possibility. I just personally think Edison is the culprit, because Edison, like I said, the backseat he's taken is almost so sus, and he's so unassuming that it could be the most left field, like, haha, so you've walked into my trap. You found my secret jail. And you will never leave, Vegapunk. I will protect you for all time the way I see fit, so that I may be free to pursue my inventions. Yeah, so what if one of them's evil? Oh well, that's my inventions, and that's what I'm going to stick by. I don't really have any other evidence right now other than he's left to go invent, which means he may have left to go check on his jail cells and whatnot. And with the way everything is shaping up, I don't even think he wants to protect the Stella body the way that the other Vegapunks want to protect it. I think he wants to demand complete ownership of it, and that would make sense because then he wouldn't actually have to worry about having time and freedom to invent things, because he doesn't have to worry about Vegapunk leaving the island anymore. That's what I think once Vegapunk made it known that he wanted to leave the island, I think that's when Edison went ahead and enacted his plan to keep Vegapunk there forever. That's it. That's the video. So I'm Merch Hunter Ricky. Thank you all. I really appreciate everything that you've all done for this channel. The likes, the comments, the subscribes. Keep it coming. I really appreciate it. Also, for the time being, this might very well be my last video with the figurines up and in this room. I am going to be moving shortly, and it's going to be a long move. Let's just say that. So, with that being said, I'm also shifting my content finally from phone-generated content to mostly computer-generated and edited content with a webcam and all the works and all that. So that's why I posted that thing in my community section, because I don't know how long the transition process will be, and I won't leave you guys in the dust with no videos. I recently acquired the Gear 5 Luffy WCF, so I'll be showing that in another video, and I have a couple other sets of Gashapons, 2 videos already shot with no voiceover, and then I'm looking at it right now, a set of WCF characters that I really want to show you guys too. So again, thank you all. Edison, you're very sus, and everyone that watches this video, like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz, and thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And as always, thank you for watching, and I appreciate everything you guys do for me.